Hello everybody. Welcome to Sunday Night Ghost Stories Extra. Because we are on a Friday. Oh my goodness me. Do you know what? It is dirt chilly up here tonight, which is why we have the fire on, and we do have the fire on. So here we are in the library, he said grandly and pretentiously. But yes, it's been a full-on day today. End of the working week, not for me because I'm going to carry on working tomorrow. So that's the Peter Rogers film, never got, wasn't it? Carry on working. What are we reading? I'll tell you in a second when I can find it. We are still reading Haunted Places of Scotland, which is absolutely belting. What a brilliant book, really is. What are we drinking tonight? Well, we're on a 2-beer strategy tonight. So we've got Colossus American Pale Ale from the Big Hug Brewing, 6.5%. Goodness me. I'm just seeing what it says. Brewing for better. Since day one, we have made beer with purpose for a 100% positive impact. Every sale helps us shape a better, brighter future and make a meaningful difference to both people and planet. We've teamed up with One Tribe, so every can sold helps us support their rainforest projects. It's our way of giving a little something back, supporting real climate action in both the UK and abroad. Hobo Brewers, no brewery, just following a dream, building a community and making a difference one beer at a time. This is tasting notes. It says our biggest beer yet, a hearty Moorish brown ale, ideal for the winter months. And they're not kidding. Rich malts combined with fresh pine and fruity hop aromas. And this is made by, just seeing who it's made by. It says, look bright, colour brown, taste hearty, aroma berry. It doesn't say. Big Hug Brewing. Oh, there we go. That's who it's made by. So Big Hug Brewing, Colossus. Colossus, incidentally, is a very fine science fiction thriller from the early 70s. Colossus, the Forbin Project. Oh my goodness me. What a cracking film. Absolutely brilliant. And we were talking about early 1970s. So it's the dawn of the dystopian artificial intelligence. There we go. So anyway, you know what that means. And run VT.
Oh, it's jolly nice of you. Hello, dead soldier. Seen plenty of those in my time.
Love it. We're also washing it down tonight with the Western Gold Honey, which we will be buying another bottle of this because this has been nothing short of incroyable. What does this say? It says the flavour of Western Gold honey derived from oak barrels and the subtle sweetness of honey, full stop. That results in a smooth and rich flavour profile one cannot resist. So it should either be which results in a smooth or... anyway, enjoy straight. Thank you. On the rocks or mixed. Cheers. I'm going to enjoy it camply. Right. Let's crack on, shall we? Where did we get up to last time? No, we did Hermitage Castle. So, Hillhead Underground Station, Glasgow. The underground station is reputed to be haunted. There are several stories regarding the apparition of a pretty woman dressed in evening wear being seen on the platform and also being heard singing, apparently quite happily. The phantom is then said to disappear into one of the tunnels. Just says underground station. Hilton Hotel, Glasgow. The Hilton Hotel is reputed to be haunted, and one story is that the apparition of a woman with long blonde hair has been witnessed in a chamber on the 13th floor. The bar is also said to be the scene of eerie occurrences, such as glasses being thrown across the room or moving by themselves. The phantom of a man has been reportedly, the phantom of a man has reportedly been spotted here too. Hotel, telephone number, website address. Right, let's have some of this. What is it again? American brown ale, called Colossus and brewed in this country. 6.5%. So, what was the aroma again? Aroma berry. Not too sure about that. Anyway. It's certainly, did they say nutty? Taste hearty. It's certainly got a nutty taste to it. Right. His Majesty's Theatre, Aberdeen. His Majesty's Theatre, a fine building dating from 1906, holding an audience of up to 1,470, was fully renovated in the 1980s and then again in 2005, and features a range of popular productions, including musicals, drama, and dance. The theatre is said to be haunted by the spirit of a stagehand, John Murray, known as Jake, who was killed messily in 1942 by a stage hoist during a circus performance. Manifestations are believed to include objects being mysteriously moved or hidden by themselves, including on one occasion when a member of staff was painting some scenery and had his paintbrush repeatedly moved until the member of staff told the ghost to stop. Footsteps have also allegedly been heard from unoccupied areas, witnessed in 2005 during the last renovation. An apparition of Jake has also reputedly been seen, said to be that of a man dressed in a brown coat, which then faded away. The foyer is said to be haunted by a grey lady, while a phantom of a barmaid has reportedly been witnessed in the Stalls bar. Another spectre is allegedly that of a man with a top hat, spotted in the Royal Box enclosure, and even on stage during performances. Theatre, telephone number, box office, website. So there we go. I do have some ghost story books here which are haunted theatres. I think I've got haunted West End theatres, but they sometimes meander, they go off on a tangent, a bit like me really. So cheers me beers. Oh, that's lovely. Right. Hob Kirk, an attractive building in a pleasant spot. The present church dates from 1869, although it incorporates some ancient masonry. The present Hob Kirk stands on the site of a much older church, which is mentioned from the 13th century, but may date from even earlier. There are some old memorials in the burial ground, and the name comes from Hope Kirk, Hope being a sheltered valley. In the 18th century, it is said that the then church was haunted and that it had to be exorcised by a priest. Just says church, website address. Not much else there, folks. Not much to hang your hat on. Let's have some more of this lovely Colossus in the magnificent Rush beer glass from Kirsten and Steve in the United States. So cheers, the pair of you. Oh, lovely. Holyrood House, Edinburgh. Standing near Holyrood Park and the impressive mass of Arthur's Seat, Holyrood House is a fine palace set around a courtyard and incorporates a 16th century block built out of the guest house of the abbey. Original interiors survive in the old block, and the ruins of the abbey church adjoin. Holyrood Abbey was founded by David I around 1128 as an Augustinian establishment dedicated to the Holy Cross, and it was sacked in 1322, 1385, 1544, and 1547 by the English. Sorry about that. David Rizzio, Mary, Queen of Scots' secretary, was repeatedly stabbed and murdered in her presence by men led by her husband, Lord Darnley, and a plaque marks the spot. One story is that Rizzio's copious amount of blood stained the floor and could not be washed off, no matter what was done. Bonnie Prince Charlie stayed here in 1745, which is 5:45, during the Jacobite Rising, and Butcher Cumberland later made it his headquarters. The palace is the official residence of the monarch in Scotland. A grey lady, thought to be the spirit of one of Mary's companions, has reputedly been seen in the Queen's audience chamber, although one account described the apparition as being very faint. Ghostly footsteps are said to have been heard in the Long Gallery, which has portraits of Scottish monarchs from earliest times, most of the portraits being painted entirely from the imagination of the artist. Open all year, daily, closed to some dates. Check with Palace, telephone number, website. We're just going to go back on that a bit. He was repeatedly stabbed and murdered in her presence. Well, I don't think you can be repeatedly murdered. You can be repeatedly stabbed, but I would say murder is it's a one-off event, isn't it? What did they do? Did they kill him and then revive him and then kill him again? I just clumsy English that. Yeah, again, bloody English. Honestly, we're a nightmare. Anyway, cheers, me beers. I got some fan mails turned up. Let's just read the fan mail. Oh my goodness me, I can't read that out. I'm just doing ghosts, reading them. Bear with. Just giving somebody moral support. Oh, yeah, Madame Butterfly tomorrow, live on Radio 3. Looking forward to that from the New York Metropolitan Opera House. So, we've just done Holyrood House. Hopetoun House. Standing in extensive parklands by the Firth of Firth, Hopetoun House is a large palatial mansion which dates from 1699 and was built by the architect William Bruce for the Hope family. Sir Charles Hope, made Earl of Hopetoun in 1703, had the house remodelled by William Adam from 1721, the work being continued by John and Robert Adam. The ghost of a dark cloaked man is said to have been seen on one of the paths in the grounds and to be a harbinger of death or misadventure in the Hope family. There are also accounts of uncanny occurrences in the restaurant, which was formerly the stables. The apparition of a man is said to have been spotted several times and was identified from a photograph as being the phantom of a coach driver who had worked at the house in the 1900s. Another apparition has reputedly been seen in the staff lavatories in the main house. Open mid-April to the end of September. Check exact dates, telephone number, website. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in January 2005 by Ghost Finders. Website address. 2005. Still feels like the recent past. 21 years ago. Oh my goodness me. I know I keep banging on about that, but where does the time go, ladies and gentlemen? Cheers, me beers. Do you know what? I think it's bump time. We will have some bump, so Western Gold is so lovely. Right. Houndwood House. Houndwood House incorporates an old tower house, but the building was remodeled and castellated in the 19th and 20th centuries. The lands were originally held by Coldingham Priory. The monks are believed to have had a hunting lodge here, but were acquired by the Holmes after the Reformation. Hear that again. The monks are believed to have had a hunting lodge here, but were acquired by the Holmes after the Reformation. I don't get that. The house is said to be haunted by a ghost called Chappie. Manifestations were reported in the 19th century, including unexplained heavy footsteps, knocking and rapping, and deep breathing and moans. The apparition of the lower part of a man dressed in riding breeches was said to have been witnessed in the grounds outside the house. The story goes that a man was killed by a party of soldiers in the 16th century and then apparently cut in half. The sounds of ghostly horses have also been reported here, perhaps linked to a visit to the house by Mary, Queen of Scots. She gets around a bit, doesn't she? No, nothing to add to the end of that one. Cheers, me beers. Oh, we are definitely getting some more of this Western Gold. Oh, that is lovely. House of Dun. House of Dun is a fine, sparse, classical mansion built in 1730, which is 5:30, by the famous architect William Adam for David Erskine, Lord Dun. There are formal gardens with woodland and parkland, as well as a 19th century walled garden. The present mansion replaced an old stronghold of the Erskines, a fragment of which survives. Dun had passed to the Erskines by 1375. The old castle was the scene of a notorious case of poisoning, reputed. The old castle was the scene of a notorious case of poisoning, reputed witchcraft, and murder in 1613, when the young John Erskine, heir to Dun, and his brother Alexander were poisoned by Robert Erskine, their uncle, and their three aunts in a dispute over property. The older boy died in agony, while Alexander survived after a severe illness and eventually succeeded to the lands. Robert Erskine and two of his sisters were executed, while the third had to go into exile. The Erskines held the property until 1980, when it passed to the National Trust for Scotland. There are many tales of the house being haunted. Manifestations are alleged to include apparitions, one of which is said to be that of a little girl skipping, another an austere man, and unexplained noises, one instance of which lasted for more than 30 minutes. A white lady is also said to have been witnessed in one of the bedrooms A white lady is also said to have been witnessed in one of the bedrooms of the flats in the house. National Trust for Scotland, open April to late June, Wednesday to Sunday, closed Monday to Tuesday, late June to August, daily September to October, Wednesday to Sunday, closed Thursday to Friday, telephone number, website. Yeah, understand that? I don't understand any of that at all. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in August 2006 by the Ghost Club. Website address. That is an organization I have got to join. And now that I've been paid today, I might go on their website. Might actually do it at half time. Let's have a think about that. Have I got my debit card up here? I do have my debit card up here. What are we up to? 22 minutes. Anyway, cheers me beers. In case you're wondering where his royal derpiness is, he's in the bedroom next door. He's either under the bed, as in there are sliding compartments under the bed that he's made into his home, or he's on the cabinet by the radiator. But anyway, cheers me beers. By the way, House of Dun, D-U-N, Houston House. Houston, we have a problem. Houston House, standing on a woody ridge in 20 acres of grounds. Houston House is an early 17th century L-plan tower house, to which has been added wings around a rectangular courtyard. The lands were originally held by the Houstons, one of whom, Sir Peter Houston, was killed at the Battle of Flodden in 1513, which is almost 3:15. The property passed to the Sharp or Shairp, S-H-A-I-R-P family about 1569. Archbishop James Sharp from the family was murdered at Magus Muir in 1679. Houston was sold by the family in 1945. The building extended in the 1960s, and the house is now used as a hotel. According to some accounts, one of the rooms of the old part of the house is reputedly haunted. You don't say. This is a book about haunted places of Scotland. Anyway, hotel, telephone number, website, blah, blah, blah. These are all beautifully short. In case you're wondering, at half time, we do have snacks tonight. Regrettably, I have hoovered up all the wasabi ones. So on a trip to Lidl tomorrow, I may stock up on some. What are we up to? 25 minutes. Yeah, we're timing this beautifully tonight. So, we've got some fan mail. Oh, lovely. Slange. Oh, let's just read the fan mail. Bum, 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 bum. I'm just having a quick look. Bear with. Right, let's crack on, shall we? We're Gert hungry tonight, and it's a Friday, which means we've got a new episode of Monarch Legacy of Monsters to enjoy, which is, it's kind of like, for the next few weeks, it's like having a brand new Godzilla film to watch. Although Kong is quite heavily featured in this series. But anyway, Howlett's House, Logan Lee. Howlett's house was an old dwelling, fortified and sturdy, with very thick walls and a vaulted basement. One tale recounts that one of the owners, although old, returned unexpectedly with a young and fetching new wife. For a while, they appear to have been happy, but eventually the attractions of a young servant lad tempted her away from the prune of her husband. The young wife and servant lad then disappeared with a sum of money, but soon afterwards phantoms of the couple were reported in the area. The bodies of the young woman and lad were eventually unearthed, and when they were properly buried in consecrated ground, the disturbances stopped. It seems the old farmer discovered they were having an affair and murdered them both, then fled the area. No more details after that one. Let's have another. What are we up to? 27 minutes. Yeah, I think we'll have another bump, a beer and a bump. Oh, lovely. Slange. Hunter's Tryst, Edinburgh. Hunter's Tryst, an old Oaching Inn. Try again. Hunter's Tryst, Edinburgh. Hunter's Tryst, an old coaching inn, much altered and extended in recent years, is said to be haunted by a white lady. The apparition is said to have been seen by customers in several of the rooms. Public house and restaurant. Telephone number. Right. Hunting Tower Castle. Standing on the outskirts of Perth, Hunting Tower is an impressive and slightly gloomy pile which dates from the 15th century and was long held by the Ruthvens. Some rooms have fine original painted ceilings, mural paintings and plasterwork, as well as decorative beams in the hall. Mary, Queen of Scots, visited the castle in 1565. In 1582, William Ruthven, 1st Earl of Gowrie, abducted the young James VI in what became known as the Raid of Ruthven and held him at Hunting Tower. James escaped during a hunting trip and had the Earl beheaded in 1585. Gowrie's ghost is said to haunt the West Bow. See that entry in Edinburgh. In 1600, which is 4 o'clock, John, 3rd Earl of Gowrie, and his brother Alexander, Master of Ruthven, were slain at Gowrie House in Perth by James VI and his followers, following the Gowrie conspiracy, a possible plot to murder the king. Their bodies were posthumously hanged, drawn, and quartered, which must have been messy. The Ruthvens were forfeited, their name proscribed, and the castle, originally called Ruthven Castle, renamed Hunting Tower. The castle and grounds are said to be haunted by a green lady, also known as My Lady Greensleeves. Her footsteps have reputedly been heard along with the rustle of her gown, and she has reportedly appeared on several occasions, sometimes as a warning of death. Let's read it again. We'll have a run up at that one. The castle and grounds are said to be haunted by a green lady, also known as My Lady Greensleeves. Her footsteps have reputedly been heard, along with the beer burps at 31 minutes and 21 seconds. There we go. It had to be done, folks. Her footsteps have reputedly been heard, along with the rustle of her gown. Her footsteps have reputedly been heard, along with the rustle of her gown, and she has reportedly appeared on several occasions, sometimes as a warning of death, sometimes to help passers-by, including an ill child and a man being robbed. Indeed, her appearance is said to herald events both bad and good, depending on whether the bogle was seen weeping or laughing. There was a sighting of the ghost in one of the small chambers on the second floor in the 1970s, made by two visitors. Historic Scotland, open all year, April to October daily, November to March, Saturday to Wednesday closed, Thursday and Friday closed, 25th and 26th of December, and 1st and 2nd of January. Telephone number, website. Right, half time. Oh my goodness me, half time. What to report? Well, actually, we're half time, so we are going to have some. We are going to have some snacks. So because we is Gert hungry. Very nice. Definitely getting some more wasabi snacks tomorrow. Right. What to say? It's been a double bill with my good friend Laura. Now, my good friend Laura was one of the people who kindly came to visit me when I was ill 3 years ago. So yesterday rather, we did a walk, and we did Yatton to the outskirts of Kongsbury on the Strawberry Line. So there we are at the beginning of the walk by the artwork at the beginning of the Strawberry Line. Laura's pointed to the fact that the wind is blowing her hair, which it was quite windy yesterday. That's one of the Reams, River Yo rather, at Kongsbury. There we are on the return leg, and there is the artwork behind us. Then we went into the Strawberry Line Cafe at Yatton Station, where we had some lunch. Unfortunately, my friend Faye had finished her shift by then, but I did see her early in the morning. We both had jacket potato with cheese and beans, absolutely delicious. And there you go. That was yesterday's walk of 4 miles, 4.11 miles. Absolutely brilliant. So essentially, I did a walk with friend Tara on Tuesday, walk with Reg on Wednesday, walk with Laurie yesterday. 3 days in a row doing quite a bit of miles, quite frankly. But I'm not complaining. And then today we had to go to, I'm just seeing if this will run in sequence. Yeah, it will do. So today we had to go up to Southmead, and not my favorite place for obvious reasons, because of everything that happened 3 years ago. But no, this was for Laura to get an X-ray. So it was a little bit traumatic for me, but hey ho. Then on the way back, we stopped off at Sea Mills, which is a fabulous place, which Laura had never been to. She'd never seen Sea Mills Station before. Then we had tea and cake at the God, I can't remember what it's called now. It's the cafe on the square. at Sea Mills. So tea and cake at the cafe on the square. And there we are on the River Avon, which is one of my favorite places. It's just brilliant there. And there is the cycle path on the other side of the River Avon, runs from Pill to Bristol. But no, that was absolutely brilliant. So I feel really quite lucky today to have had 2 consecutive days with friend Laura. God bless you, Laura. Thank you for putting up with a confused man from Dudley with holes in his head. We're just going to have some more snacks here as well. But beyond that, and despite the fact that it is a weekend, I'm going to be carrying on working over the weekend because I'm that close to finishing a massive project. So I just want to get it done. So we're going to have some more snacks as well, because despite the fact that we have supper on the go downstairs, what did you do on Friday night? I tuned in to watch Sunday Night Ghost Stories Extra, but instead there was a confused man from Dudley, and all he was doing was eating Japanese style mixed rice snacks from Lidl. Which I gotta say are pretty awesome. And also the Thai chili rice snacks from Lidl as well. Unfortunately, I'm looking at the traffic light system here. They are massively bad for you. 14% fat, 5% saturates, 5%, 3% sugars, 6% salt. But you know what? It's not like I eat anything else unhealthy, so. Cheers, me beers. Oh, lovely. Right. For part 2 of tonight's show, what a surprise. It's the coffee stout from Aldi. So with the magnificent Rush bottle opener, again, from viewers Kirsten and Steve in the United States. Oh, this'll have me fast asleep by about 10 o'clock tonight. It'd be a miracle if I get to the end of the episode of Monarch Legacy of Monsters. But shall we crack on? Illiston House. Reached by a tree-lined drive, Illiston House is an altered T-plan tower house of 2 stories and an attic with dormer windows and Corby-stepped gables. I'll look those terms up at some stage. The kings of Scots are said to have had a hunting lodge here, which was often used by James II and James IV. But by the 17th century, the property was held by the Ellis family, the name being from Elliston. The house is still occupied and in good condition, although it was roofless in 1856. A ghostly horseman shrouded in black and with a naked skull for a head is said to have been seen riding from Illiston down tracks towards the nearby waterfalls on the river Almond. I don't think there's anything else to add to that. Nope, nothing more to add to that. Got the beer burps again, folks. Oh, the beer burps. And we're going to have some more snacks. What the hell? Oh, fan mail. Let's crack on. Inchbury. Inchbury, an island in the impressive Falls of Dochart, was used as a burial ground by the MacNab clan. Their walled burial enclosure is at the northeast end of the island, and there are several old memorials and effigies, including a medieval stone slab. One story is that the burial ground is haunted by the last person to be interred at Inchbury. Access possible key from the Breadalbane Folklore Centre. A brief paranormal investigation was undertaken in May 2004 by Ghost Finders. Website address. Goodness me, May 2004, again, still feels like the recent past. I do declare, I think I was in Cardiff that day buying my much missed green Mini Cooper. Oh, I love that car. I miss it greatly. Cheers, me beers. Oh, the coffee stout from Aldi, though. What a beer. Oh, goodness me. We need a top-up of the Western Gold, of which we will be buying another bottle. This has been a revelation, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, I'm getting a bit worried about it now because I don't think that's going to last the weekend, but right, here we go. Inchdrawer Castle. Inchdrawer Castle was built by the Ogilvies of Dunlugus in the 16th century, and the family were made Lords Banff. The then Lord Banff was murdered here in 1713, which is almost 5:15, after returning home from Edinburgh. He was probably slain by his own servants who had been robbing him, although the castle was torched to destroy the evidence. One source had his ghost haunting the building. The castle is also said to be haunted by the spirit of a lady who reputedly takes the form of a white dog. That's the end of that one. Let's have some more snacks, shall we? Cheers. Strange. India Street, Edinburgh. One of the houses in the street, dating from the 1820s, is reputedly haunted. An apparition has often apparently been seen in the hall, a few feet above the present floor level, but it is ill-defined and transparent. And that's the end of that one. Oh, fan mail and Thai chili rice snacks. I think we are going to get some more of the wasabi mix ones. Oh my goodness me! Right, hang about. Excellent. There is a new comic coming out. I say comic, an illustrated whatever, from IDW, apparently called appropriately titled "The Horror of Godzilla." Looking forward to that. Right, let's crack on, shall we? Inn at Lathones. The inn at Lathones is an old coaching inn, which dates back to early in the 17th century. The oldest part of the building being the stables. The front house was built in that century, and above the fireplace is a wedding stone with the initials of Iona Kirk and Ewan Lindsay, who were married in 1718. Who were married in 1718 and ran the inn for many years. The story goes that the couple were so in love that when Iona died, the stone cracked, and her husband followed her to the grave a short time later. The stables are said to be haunted by a grey lady and her horse, and she is said to be a friendly bogle. It is not clear whether this ghost is responsible for the grey swirling mist, which has apparently been observed above the beds in some of the rooms. Other activity is reported to include doors and windows opening and closing by themselves, and fire irons moving from one side of a fireplace to another, and also swinging to and fro by themselves. The unexplained sound of a baby crying has reputedly been heard coming from an upstairs 3 a.m. The unexplained sound of a baby crying has also reputedly been heard coming from an empty upstairs office. Inn with bar, restaurant, and accommodation, telephone number, website. A paranormal investigation was undertaken by Paranormal Discovery. Website address. Right. Viewer Reg would love this. We are going to have another one of our Ramadan chocolates. So what are we up to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I think we're up to the 10th. Just seeing if I can find the 10th. Or indeed, if the 10th is actually going to appear. Oh no, we've already done the 10th. So I think we'll do the 11th. The problem is, this is from Lidl, but the problem is the chocolates do rattle around a bit. Oh, there we go, 11th. Oh, no. So we have a chocolate for the 11th. I think that's a drum. And I think we'll have a 12th as well. It's a camel. Oh. And we've had another one spontaneously jump out of the Ramadan calendar, and it's a genius lamp. So make a wish. There we go. Just seeing where we are now. Strange. It's been a long day here, folks. I was up at stupid in the morning, woken up by his royal derpiness, clunking round the bedroom, yowling because it was breakfast time. I thought to myself, God, it must be at least 8:30. Looked at the clock, 6:45. So I was not in a good mood. Anyway, there we go. Dead soldier, run VT.
Oh, it's jolly nice of you. Hello, dead soldier. Seen plenty of those in my time.
Love it. Inverary Castle. Standing near the banks of Loch Finn by the planned village of Inverary. Inverary Castle is a large towered mansion begun in 1743, which is almost 5:45, then remodelled by William and John Adam. Inverary has long been the seat of the Campbells, Earls, then Dukes of Argyll, and the present mansion replaced an ancient stronghold which stood nearby. Famous visitors include James V, Mary, Queen of Scots, and the Marquis of Montrose, who burnt the place. Several ghost stories are recorded in various places around Inverary, although these are refuted. The old castle was said to be haunted by a ghostly harper, one of Montrose's victims in the attack in 1644. The bogle is said to be clad in Campbell tartan and to mostly be seen or heard by the duchesses, but only rarely by the dukes. Harping is said sometimes to be heard when one of the dukes is near death or during their funeral. The library is also reputedly haunted, and strange noises and crashes the library is also reputedly haunted, and strange noises and crashings have reportedly been heard there. Cats. Other ghosts include a spectral Berlin, which is reputedly seen when one of the Campbells is near death, seen in 1913 on the death of Archibald Campbell, as well as gatherings of ravens, and the ghost of a young servant who was murdered by Jacobites is said to haunt the MacArthur Room. The apparitions of redcoats, some of Cumberland's men, are said to have been seen marching on the road through Glen Array, not far from the castle. Open April to October daily, telephone number, website address. I'm just going to go back there a second. There was a Berlin, Birlinn, a Berlin. We're going to look that up, folks. What is a Berlin? Well, obviously it's a capital city in Germany. A Berlin is a traditional clinker-built wooden vessel with a single mast and oars, dominant in the Hebrides and West Highlands of Scotland until the 17th century. It was used for transport and warfare. Let's just go back there a second. Other ghosts include a spectral Berlin. Okay, a spectral Berlin. A boat on Croyable, everybody. Anyway, that's how much beer we've got to do. What are we up to? 58 minutes. We're going to overrun tonight. So cheers, me beers. It might be a 3 bumper tonight. Sludge. Lovely. Inverary Jail. Inverary Jail was founded in 1820 and served as the courthouse and prison for Argyll, some 6,000 people being tried and sentenced and then imprisoned in the jail. The court was housed in a fine classical building, and there were 2 prison blocks with an exercise area. The jail was closed in 1889, although the court went on sitting until the 19th. The jail was closed in 1889, although the court went on sitting into the 1950s. Oh, the beer burps again. Do apologise. Since 1989, the court and jail have been a museum and tourist attraction, with a reconstruction of life in the prison, including custodians in period costume, reenacted trials, and furnished cells. The jail is said to be haunted, and there are numerous reports of apparitions and other eerie manifestations. The building has had a series of paranormal investigations. Boy, has it had a series of paranormal investigations. Open all year, daily, except the 25th and 26th of September and the 1st of January. Telephone number, website. Right, brace yourselves. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in May 2005 by Spectre, website address, and in 2005 by Ghost Finders, website address, and in July 2005 by Paranormal Investigations Scotland, website address, and by Spirit Finders Scotland, ditto, and in February 2008 by the Scottish Society of Paranormal Investigation and Analysis, website address, and in September 2005 and in April 2006 by Scottish Paranormal Investigations, website address. Goodness me, that's quite involved, folks. What are we up to? 59 minutes, right? I think we're gonna rattle through this now. So cheers, me beers. Sludge. Right. Inverore House. Inverore House. Not Inverore. Inverore House. A fine harled and whitewashed mansion in a pretty spot, may incorporate a castle of the 14th century. Inverore was a property of the Campbells, and Mary, Queen of Scots, is said to have visited. The house is thought to be haunted by a green lady, said to be the ghost of Mary Cameron of Callet, although she has been called Green Jean, who married the then Laird Dermot Campbell. Campbell rescued Mary from the plague at Callet, but he died in 1645 after the Battle of Inverlochy while fighting against the Marquis of Montrose, and he is buried at Ardchatton Priory. Mary died after him, and her ghost is said to haunt the house. The phantom has supposedly been seen in the Ticonderoga room, and there are reports of the ghost in the 20th century, including 1912, when loud screams were heard coming from the Ticonderoga room, perhaps because at that time the room had been cleared. The ghost was described as being about 16 years of age, with beautiful gold hair and wearing a green dress. On another occasion in 1967, the bogle is said to have turned someone over in bed, who woke to find himself alone. Alternatively, she is said to have been seen in the servants' quarters and on a stair which she climbs before disappearing. There have also been sightings away from the house. One when a shepherd reported seeing the ghost moving through his sheep, the sheep parting to let the ghost through, and another when several men working on the nearby hydroelectric scheme see the bogle walking along the road towards Inverore House before vanishing in front of them. There were also 2 sightings in 2001 during renovations to the house, and it is reported that disturbances became much worse during building work. Other manifestations reported in recent times are said to include doors opening and closing, sometimes loudly by themselves, unexplained noises, disembodied footsteps running on the stairs, and items going missing, only to turn up later. That could be this place. The Green Lady is reputed to be a friendly ghost and to have helped people on several occasions. Some say she only appears to members of the Campbell family. Another ghost story is said to be that of Duncan Campbell, who died at Ticonderoga in Canada in 1758, which is 2 minutes to 6. Duncan unwittingly sheltered his foster brother Donald's murderer, and the spectre of Donald appeared to remonstrate with Duncan, finally telling him that "we shall meet again at Ticonderoga." Duncan had no idea what this meant until he joined the army and fought in Canada, being mortally wounded at Ticonderoga. One account has Duncan, however, living in Glasgow until 1760, although he did die of wounds received at the battle. Smokery and Visitor Centre, Country Park, accommodation available in grounds, telephone number, website. And we've just bumped through the hour mark. Goodness me. Incroyable, everybody. Right, cheers me beers. Oh, fan mail. Let's just read the fan mail. Oh, the time is 21:12. What a great album. Ba-dum, ba-ba-ba, no, I'm not going to bother with that. Slange. I've forgotten where we are now. No, we've just done that one. In Inverary Castle. There was a castle at Inverary which was demolished in 1689 after the Battle of Killiecrankie. John Farquharson of Inverary, the Black Colonel, was a Jacobite, and that year had defeated a force attacking Braemar Castle. See that entry. Which he then burnt. He is said to have summoned servants by firing a pistol, but his home was torched when the rising failed, although he escaped with his life. Farquharson left strict instructions that he wished to be buried at Inverary alongside his mistress, who had predeceased him. His wife ignored his wishes and had him interred in St. Andrew's Churchyard at Braemar. His coffin then, reputedly, appeared above ground 3 times, despite having been buried. The story goes that his wife, perhaps still unsure whether this was just some unpleasant practical joke, was then visited by his angry ghost, which terrorized her and her family. She gave up and had him taken and buried at Inverary. Another tale is that some years later his grave was despoiled, and 2 men each took one of his teeth as souvenirs, until his wrathful bogle appeared to them both, and they then quickly returned the teeth to Farquharson's coffin. Farquharson's ghost is said to have been witnessed at Braemar Castle. Oh, the beer burps again. Do apologise. Farquharson's ghost is said to have been witnessed at Braemar Castle, where it lit a candle. Sorry. Been a long day, folks. Farquharson's ghost is said to have been witnessed at Braemar Castle, where a lit candle is allegedly left as a sign of his presence. Right, we are coming up to the last few for tonight because, quite frankly, we need some food. We need some food and we need some family, guys. So cheers, me beers. And I think we will have some more Japanese rice snacks. And some Thai chili snacks. Go hungry, folks. Invergarry Castle, perched on the Rock of the Raven, the slogan of the family. Invergarry Castle is an impressive ruinous tower house of the Clan Ranald branch of the MacDonalds. The old stronghold has an eventful history and was burnt in 1654 by Cromwell. The old stronghold has an eventful history and was burnt in 1654 by Cromwell, changed hands several times during the Jacobite risings, and was finally torched by the Butcher, Duke of Cumberland, after being visited by Bonnie Prince Charlie. The Glengarry Castle Hotel stands on the site of a later mansion. The old castle is said to have had a brownie, although possibly a green lady or Graugach. Glengarry Hotel open end of March, beginning of November. Ruin can be seen from grounds of hotel. The interior of the castle is in dangerous condition. Telephone number, website. Right, I think we're coming towards the end of tonight. So what we're going to try and do is, I think we will end, do more tonight, and then that'll be it. I need to have some food. So, Slange. Do you know what? It is going to be a 3 bumper tonight. Yeah, seeing as I've just been paid, I think we will get some more of this honey gold tomorrow. So, Inverness Castle. Virtually nothing survives of the medieval royal castle of Inverness, once one of the most important fortresses in Scotland, with a long, turbulent history of sieges and intrigue. The castle was in a poor state of repair when used by government forces before the Battle of Culloden in 1746, and the building was blown up by the retreating Jacobites. An impressive baronial building of 1835, housing the sheriff court and police, stands on the site of the old castle. It is said that Malcolm Canmore destroyed a stronghold of Macbeth at Inverness in 1057, and that an apparition of Duncan, dressed in all his kingly finery, has been seen walking along the banks of the Ness near the site of the castle, presumably based on Duncan being murdered here, as described in Shakespeare's Scottish play. exhibition open in summer. I'm going to try to read how we describe this next one. Inverquarity. Inverquarity. Right, that'll do. Right, that's it for tonight. Cheers, me beers. Oh, lovely. Smash. Last one for tonight. Inverquarity Castle. Inverquarity Castle was built by the Ogilvies about 1420. One of the family, Alexander, was smothered at Finhaven Castle by his sister in 1446, while another Alexander was captured after the Battle of Philiphaugh in 1645 while fighting for the Marquis of Montrose, and he was beheaded in Glasgow. Inverquarity is said to have been haunted by a Sir John Ogilvie, desiring the beautiful daughter of the local miller, John White. Ogilvie had her father hanged when she refused him, then raped her and her mother. The local priest prayed for vengeance, and Ogilvie was struck down dead, although his ghost is said to have so plagued the castle that it had to be abandoned. Such is the story anyway. And that's it. That's it. That's the end of that one tonight. So when we pick up on Sunday Night Ghost Stories Extra, Sunday Night Ghost Stories, we should be at Iona. So that's where we're going to be on Sunday. So Slange me var. In the magnificent United Federation of Planet Shot Glass, again, courtesy of friends Kirsten and Steve in the United States. Cheers, me beers. Oh, lovely. Oh, there's going to be another investment into that Western Gold. Honey Scotch? I don't think it's honey Scotch. Whatever it is, it's delicious. Right. That's it for tonight. Fingers crossed, we'll be back for more ghost stories on Sunday night. Keep our fingers crossed anyway. Until then, it behoves me to say thank you for watching. Why? Why not? Well, what else are you going to do on a Wednesday afternoon, on a Wednesday evening rather, on Friday the 13th, than watch a confused man from Dudley with holes in his head drink ghost stories and read alcohol? Come on, folks, you can do better. I can't. I am limited by my lack of imagination and just my lack of imagination, really. Anyway, until the next time, as ever, it behoves me to say thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay out of trouble, and please don't have nightmares. Good night.